Hello, welcome to my first Flosstube. This is kind of scary, but I've been watching Flosstube for only about 3 months or so, and I've enjoyed it so much, and it seems like such a wonderful community that I thought it might be something fun to get involved with. So please bear with me as I try and figure all this out, and here we go. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mary. My channel is Mary's Stitching Corner, and I also go under that name on Instagram also. I live in northern Utah in the United States, but I'm originally from Scotland. So if you hear kind of a jumbled up accent, that's what's going on. Next year I will have lived here for as long as I lived in Scotland, so that's kind of a big milestone. I'm married, just celebrated my 30th wedding anniversary, and we have 2 daughters, and they're both still at home. And then we have my stepson and his wife, and they live about 5 hours away from here, and they have 2 daughters. So the rest of my family is in Scotland. I have written a few notes, so let me glance at these so that I can think of what to say. I need my glasses because I'm old. So I've been crafting in some way or another for most of my life. When I was in primary school in Scotland, they taught us how to knit. And I remember my first project was a pair of pink slippers. And I was so proud of those. And knitting was a huge thing back then. My mother would knit our sweaters. She would knit clothes for my dolls. And that's something that I did for many years. That was my main hobby. I would knit sweaters for myself. I would knit baby clothes for gifts. It was just something I did for a long time. And then when I was in my early 20s, my best friend and I came over to the United States for a visit. We visited Utah, and we found a store in downtown Salt Lake City that wasn't exclusively a craft store, but it had a craft section. And we found these sewing kits, and one of them was an embroidery that we both bought, and that was my first stitching project, and I think I still have that upstairs. It's never been framed. It's been a long time since I did that, and that kind of opened up the world of stitching. And from then we found cross stitch, and that's something that I've done throughout the years. Sometimes I'll go for a long time without doing it, but I always come back to it. I still knit occasionally, but it's not something I do very often. Then let's see. I've done just about every craft that's out there. Painting, porcelain dolls, reborn dolls. I do wooden decor, card making. I do a lot of card making. I have an Etsy shop where I sell my cards. And so cross stitching and card making are my 2 big things that I focus on a lot. So in the early 90s, I think, I was cross-stitching all the time. And I did a lot of lavender and lace. That was probably the biggest thing that I did at that time. A lot of little cutesy country type things. And a lot of these are framed, but we're remodeling our house right now. And everything is in chaos. So all of our pictures that hung on the wall are packed away. So I can't show you any of those right now. So during the 90s, and then when my kids started coming along, I stitched all the time. And then I went through a phase where I didn't again, or I would not stitch for a few months and then pick it up and do something and then not stitch again. Life just got busy. So in the past 10 years, maybe, most of what I've stitched has been from kits. It was just easier to have a kit that had everything in it. So I did and do a lot of Dimensions Gold collection. And I really like those quite a bit. I love their designs. We've gone through a lot of changes in the past few years, and when I discovered Flosstube and started watching it just a few months ago, I thought, I wonder if there's a local needlework store here, which I don't know why that hadn't crossed my mind up until then, because when we lived up in northern Utah for a few years after I married my husband, and then we moved to southern Utah. We were down there for 16 years. We moved back here about 7 years ago. And in that 7 years, I don't know why I didn't look for a needlework store. I know that Shepherd's Bush is about an hour from here. But anyway, after I started watching Flosstube, I decided to Google the local needlework store and went over there one day, and my goodness, everything has changed so much in the stitching world. The styles, the tools, so many things that just blew my mind. I didn't even know what a Q-snap was. I didn't know about needle minders. The samplers are everywhere. It just was very different than when I had last gone to a store. We used to have a really fun needlework store in southern Utah where I would go frequently for quite a while, and then that closed down. So anyway, I went a bit crazy when I visited this local needlework store and bought a whole bunch of new things. And I also had been kind of a monogamous stitcher for quite a long time. And I would always work on bigger, more complex patterns. So while I was watching Flosstube, it gave me the idea of maybe I should put some small projects in there, because then I could finish them faster and have that sense of accomplishment. So that's what I did. I bought a bunch of smaller things, and so now I rotate my projects or my WIPs. There's another thing, this whole new language that I've been learning. So I do 3 or 4 a week. I have one major project that I work on with 2 or 3 smaller projects that I work on in 1 week, and then the next week I switch them all out and do that throughout the month. So there's maybe about 12 projects I'm working on every month. So I think what we'll do now is go through some of my WIPs and let you see what I've been working on. I need my glasses. So I have one that's almost done. And this is my first Mill Hill kit. So this is Buttons and Beads, Sweet Land of Liberty. I think that's, oh, Sweet Liberty is what it's called. And I just started the beading last night, so this is going to be finished in the next few days. I'm sorry, I've got nothing to hold it up against. So I hope you can see that okay. So I've really enjoyed this. It's actually a bit more complex than I would have imagined, but it's been really fun. So I'm looking forward to that being done. And yes, I'm Scottish, but I really, really like working on, can you see that better? Working on patriotic things. So I do it with the wooden decor that I do it with stitching my greeting cards. I just like to work on patriotic things. And I was thinking the other day, why don't I look on Etsy to see if there's some Scottish charts? I think that would be fun. So that's one that I'm just about done with, and I'm trying to find something that I can use to hold my patterns behind, but we'll see how it goes. So this next one has been something that's been in my stash for many years, and I decided to pull it out and finally start on it. So this is Lady of the Thread by Lavender and Lace. I love this one. So I started this one a few weeks ago, and this is what I've got done. So this is being stitched on 18 count black Aida. So I'm excited to finally get this one done. I prefer working on Aida. 18 counts is my favorite. I have done things on linen and even weave, and I like the look of them, but it's hard on the eyes. So Aida is my favorite, but I will occasionally branch out. So this next one has been going for about a year and I don't have very much done. It's a gold collection kit called Twilight Bridge. This is very confetti heavy, so there's not a lot going on, but I think it's going to be very nice when it's finished. And I think this is 18 count Aida, antique white. I'm just using the floss and the fabric that came in the kit. This is one of the new things I got when I went to my local store, and I couldn't resist because I'm Scottish, and these are little tartan houses, Christmas houses. So Plaid Tidings by Little Stitch Girl. And I barely started this the other night, so I've got a teeny tiny start. And I really like this fabric. It's from Dove Stitch on Etsy, and it's 18 count Aida, but it's printed. So the back is white, and then the front has this design. So this is something that was very new to me also, but I've been enjoying it. And this color is, actually, I don't know. Sorry. So I'm trying to get some Christmas projects mixed in with my other WIPs. I used to not do holiday projects because I felt it's such a lot of work for something that's only out for a short time. But I decided, you know what? Just do what you want to do and enjoy it. So this is one, again, a new one that I got just recently. It's called Let It Snow by Shannon Christine. I'm doing this on 18 count Ada, but it's tiny. So I think I need to redo this again, maybe on a 14 count, but it's very, very cute. So that's what I've got done so far. It's on 18 count beige Ada from Witchelt, I think. Maybe. So this will make a really nice little pincushion, I think. Then another Christmas one that I'm working on is Quaker Christmas 2 by Bygone Stitches. One reason I love to have a needlework store to go to is that sometimes when you look at a chart, you wouldn't even think about stitching it. And that's what I would have felt about this. But they had it stitched up in the store and I loved it so much. So this one I'm really enjoying. It's my first Quaker sampler. Doing it on antique white 18 count Ada, and that's what I've got done so far. I'm just using DMC floss for this one. I haven't ventured into the over-dyed floss and things like that, partly it just seems so expensive, but I'm, you know, maybe once I tried it, it would feel like it was worth the expense, but so far I'm just stitching with Ada. No, I'm sorry, with DMC. So this project I've been working on for 2 years, maybe. So this is Dimensions Victorian Charm. I love this one. I've seen it stitched up and it's just really, really nice. Sorry, it's all a mess right now. So this is what I've gotten done on this one so far. I'm trying to do the back stitching as I go, which I try to do on all of these dimension kits because there's a ton of back stitching. Excuse me. And what I find is that if I leave it to the end, then it doesn't get done. I have, I think, 4 upstairs that are finished other than the back stitching. So, so yeah, that just makes it easier for me just to try and do it as I go. So this one is by Country Cottage Needleworks and it's called Silent Night. Another one I discovered when I went to the needlework store. And this is where I'm at on that one. And this is 18 count Ada, smoky blue dyed effect. And again, it's printed, so it's white on the back. Didn't know that when I ordered it, and I wasn't sure when I just wasn't sure at first, but I really like it. I've actually ordered some more of this type for other projects. So those are my WIPs that I'm working on. I do a rotation where I do one big project each week plus work on 2 or 3 smaller ones. Then I switch it out the following week and kind of do a monthly rotation that way, so everything gets worked on at least once a month. So these are other things that I bought when I went to the store. They're, I guess, my haul, but I've kitted most of them up. So I will gradually work them in. Like when I finish one of these smaller ones, I'll add something else. So the one I'm going to start any day now is by Silver Creek Samplers. I think this is called Christmas List. I'm going to stitch this on 18 count Aida. Again, the printed. I'm so sorry. My throat is very dry. So I just got all the floss for that yesterday. So I'll probably start that in the next few days as soon as I finished the Sweet Liberty Mill Hill kit. Excuse me. So this is a Stony Creek called Family Roots. And that will be started soon. This has a little embellishment that you add to it. When I walked into the needlework store, this was the first one I saw, and I really, really liked it. I don't know if you can see it or if it's reversed, but it says, family like branches on a tree, we grow in different directions, yet our roots remain the same. And that kind of hit home to me because my brothers are still in Scotland, but you know, we still are family, even though we're separated by thousands of miles, and we're kind of an international family. My husband is from Utah, I'm from Scotland, my oldest daughter is from China, and my youngest is from India. So this just hit home to me, just about family. Our family came from all different areas in the world, and I'm very grateful for that. Jardin Privé has become, I think, one of my favorite designers. And I bought this ABC de Maisons. I haven't had French in a long time, so please excuse the pronunciation. So I'm very excited about this one. And what I've discovered when I did my big shop, I really like charts with houses on them. So I have a lot. So this one I'm going to do on, this is 16 count Aida, white chocolate from Witch Oats. This is another Jardin Privé. I have one similar to this that I finished that I'll show you in a minute. I love this. It's called Carré. I don't know. So I'm just going to do that on a white even weave, which I did the other one on. This one's from Little House Needleworks, called ABC 123. And I'm going to do it on Zweigart 18 count beige. Another Little House Needlework called Acorn Hill. Again, you'll see the theme of houses running through a lot of these charts. So this one says, leaves are falling, the air has a chill, autumn is coming to Acorn Hill. And I think I'm just going to do this on the same fabric as this, just a beige 18 count Aida. I got a Plum Street Samplers called Liberty Lodge. I haven't picked the fabric for this one yet. Again, the house thing. So I'm excited about that. Then a Waxing Moon Designs called Preserving Liberty. These were stitched up in the LNS that I went to, and they were so cute. I haven't chosen fabric for that yet. Now, when I was going through all my things, I came across a UFO, and I have quite a few, but this one I had completely forgotten about. And it's by the Drawn Thread, Winter into Spring. And I had obviously started this a long time ago because the year is on there, and this is a good lesson. Don't put the year on until you're finished with the project. So this is from the year 2000. But it's so, I love the colors. So I'm going to finish this one, and I thought about changing the date, but my daughter said, no, just leave it, because then you'll know. It's just kind of a story to tell that it sat there for 21 years before I got around to it again. This is another old, very old chart book. I don't know when it was printed, and I was going to donate it. But when I went through it, I thought these would make really cute little pillows. So this is Angels All Around. And they're kind of, they harken back to like the 80s, the 90s, that style. But I think they're really cute. And as I said, I think they'll make really cute little pillows. So those are my WIPs and my haul and my soon to be started, I guess. So now I'll show you some FOs. I don't have very many FFOs that are available to show because they're packed away. So these are ones that I did just recently. This is from Lizzie Kate, Halloween sampler, and I loved doing this. It was so fun. I love the colors. It was a very easy stitch until I got to the word Halloween, and for some reason it was almost beyond me because I had to unpick that about 4 or 5 times before I got it right. So that one was really fun, and it's got the charms that you can see. There's a ghost and the owl. And this one I'll probably frame for next year. This is 18 count beige Aida. Then I did the Haunted House Trio from Waxing Moon Designs, and I just used some fabric that I had lying around. So this is the Spooky House. This is, I think it's 18 count natural Aida. And these were really fun, quick stitches. This is the Creepy House. And I just used DMC floss for all of this. And this is the Haunted House. And then this is the Jardin Privé. This was another one I saw stitched up at the needlework store, and I fell in love with it. I'm sorry, it's hard to get it all in there. This was very unusual for me to do a pattern like this, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just done on a white even weave. I'm not sure of the count. I've had some of these fabrics laying around for many years. This one I finished. I don't know why the fabric is so filthy, but it is. It needs a good washing, so I apologize for that. This is a Dimensions Gold kit called Cozy Cove, and the artwork is by Charles Wysocki, and I love Charles Wysocki artwork. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I don't know if I can get it all in at one time. So that was really fun. I think this took me about 2 years on and off to get it done. So once it's been washed, I need to get that one framed. And then this is another gold collection project that I finished maybe a year ago. I haven't dated or signed any of these, which I realize now is a huge mistake, so I need to start doing that so I know when these things were done. I made a mistake on this and didn't center it properly, so I hope I don't have issues getting it framed. I think this is Fall Wreath. I can't remember for sure. I loved stitching on this one. This one was done a long time ago. I think it's called Wreath of Roses from the Gold Collection. This is on some kind of even weave. So that was very fun. I'm gonna guess this is at least 10, maybe even 15 years old. I'm one of those people that have the box under the bed full of finished objects and never get them framed. So that's why I started doing some smaller projects, because until I started watching Flosstube, I didn't think about the fact that you could do other things with your cross stitch other than framing. So pillows, flat folds, things like that. These are all things that I have to try and give myself some more options. This one I'm gonna say is gonna go back at least 20 years. It's called White Tiger by Dimensions Gold Collection. It's on an even weave. I don't know anything else about it. So that was fun. And I told you I really enjoyed lavender and lace. So these are, I had to do Celtic ladies because of being from Scotland. So I've done 2 of them, but I have the charts, I think, for all of them. And now that I've pulled these out, now I really want to get started on them. So this is Celtic Christmas. This was stitched on a gold even weave. Have no information other than that. And I haven't trimmed my threads at the back. I used to not be careful about that. So you probably see threads showing through, but I just need to go through and trim them. This is Celtic Spring. And this last one for now is a lavender and lace, and I think it was In the Arms of an Angel, I think. I didn't stitch her wings because I didn't want it to feel like an angel, you know, a baby that had passed and an angel was taking it to heaven. I wanted it to feel like a mother and baby. So that's it for what I have to show you today. I still have a big container upstairs filled with UFOs and charts that are old, but I still want to stitch them. I have some Mirabilia, I have some Heaven and Earth designs. I can't even remember what I have, but there's still quite a few, and I'll pull some of those out for next time. But thank you for bearing with me. I hope I wasn't too awkward, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing some of my work, and I will look forward to being back next time. I'm not sure how often I will do these. Maybe every couple of weeks. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for watching. And if you feel so inclined, hit the like button, subscribe. I'm looking forward to getting to know some of you better. So thank you again. Bye for now.